Welcome to the new Senju clan, part 5, I believe. To double check that. I am Dark Shadows. We last left off on the fact that Shikamaru just got all the resistance seals that he could possibly get put on, and he got the chocolate cuffs. So, and he spent the day with his aunt basically learning how to manage that. If you use too much chakra to move around, he destroys things. And if he uses too little chakra, he can't move. So, he was put into a unique position. So, with that said, he basically spent the whole rest of the weekend learning how to move around without breaking things. For the time being, so he could focus on not breaking anything in the house while sleeping, he was told he had to sleep out in the yard. He was fine. He was good because it seems like that each day, by the end of the day, it felt easier to move things, easier to move chakra. His friend Choji started seeing him move around, and didn't see him the next day, and was running around and seeing his aunt forcing him to go up and down the trees and stuff, and do water walking, just basic chakra control exercises. So she turns to Choji and goes, "If you're not going to be here to work, then you can go." And he kind of looks. Choji's looking like shocked, like he's a kid that got caught in a cookie jar, or in this case, the bag of chips. So he has a bag of chips in his mouth, falling with more chips. He has his hand in a bag of chips, and he just looked like he just got caught on something. And she's kind of annoyed that she's distracting his student. And he's looking like, what? Dumbfounded, deer in the headlights, kid in a cookie jar, that kind of deal. You get an idea. She goes, "If you're not going to be here to work, then you can leave. If you want to talk to Shikamaru, then start working." What? She goes, "Start walking up the tree." But I'm still in academy. It's never too early to start learning good chakra control. Go. Well, wanting to hang out with Shikamaru for the rest of the day, he basically grabs her kunai and starts moving up and down the tree, falling off of it most of the time. But that's what he's doing in Nara compound. So when he goes home, he's tired, he's exhausted, he is hurting. He does notice his friend was snacking a whole lot more. So it was kind of interesting on that deal. But he doesn't pay too much mind. He gets home, his dad sees him more tired than spending the day with, even spending the day at the academy. Doesn't say anything, he just sees that he looked like he just been through the ringer. Sees him, gets cleaned up, eats a little bit more than what he normally does, and then just wants to go straight to bed. Now we're going on to the next day. Since kind of forgot what time the academy starts, she basically woke up Shikamaru at 4:30 in the morning, had him eat, and then had started do chakra control exercises. Basically, what she wanted him to do was practice more on the walking across these planks, and without breaking them, which is great, because that's where he's gonna be. And even in the classroom, she had him do that. She also had him starting to walking across it without making a noise. her next step was to thin out the planks, because right now they're about a couple inches thick. They're normal wooden planks. And everything. She had him hold down a pencil and everything without cracking it. He quickly realized that he could head into problems real fast if he wasn't paying attention. She handed him the past few days when he was given chopsticks. He broke them without even thinking too much about it. So he quickly caught on that he had to focus on his chakra control all the time. It had to be. He couldn't use too little that he couldn't move, but he couldn't use too much that he broke things. So he knew that was the case. And his dad tasked him, he didn't want everyone to know about this, so told him he could not let up for a moment. So which means he couldn't crack the ground, he couldn't let anybody know. Very few people are going to be let know on this. And that was going to be the case. So the idea of chakra control was there. And he had to do that. And he had to maintain a certain level of his chakra. So he knows he had to at least snack on something that was high protein, high energy efficient chakra making deal. So most of the time, his aunt was handing him these somewhat dry, but not so much, bars. They were actually pretty good than the food reserve bars that they normally told to eat. Not as dry as them, but this was actually a little bit better. It for us and people in America is the Hidden Valley bars. Basically, what I'm thinking of, what he was eating, honey and nuts, and basically a nice little. And he liked it that it also came like in a few chewy versions, so it's not so dry. Come to find out, it was his aunt didn't tell him, but kind of told Shikaku that it was Serenity that came up with these bars. These are high energy. They keep up everything, and you didn't need to eat as much. So Shikaku quickly started making a deal with with the facility and everything, and have them made. So that's what he was doing. He was going to have them made and everything, because he tried them. He took a few to work just to see how it works. Yeah, he loves it. He's liking them, especially every now and then these like little square chewy little bites that's supposed to replace the soldier food pills that taste a little bit better, but they're not as harsh on the system, which means they get the replenishment. The food pills will be there, but they'll be like in emergency situations. These little food square blocks will be there, but they're supposed to be like a little extra, help you keep you going. Not an emergency type deal. If you're moving across, you have to move. There you go. So we're going back into the morning. It is about 7 o'clock. It's Shikamaru's rest time. Kinda didn't pay too much attention. She totally forgot that it was Monday Academy. He was an Academy student. She did not pay too much attention to the time. She just let him eat his second breakfast of the day. And thought the Academy didn't start until later. Her Academy days, the classes didn't start until close to 8 or 9. Or not 8, but 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in in the morning, depending on the deal. So she thought she still had plenty of time to do stuff. Well, Yoshi comes out saying Shikamaru kind of napping at the base of the tree. Kind of smiling that he's not cracking the tree while he's sleeping, so which means he's making tremendous progress already. She goes, "Oh my, what is he doing here? What do you mean? He doesn't. His classes don't start till later. He's in the middle of early morning workout." He goes, "Oh, the camping classes don't start until 8. Oh, they start at 7. What? It's 7:30. Oh, he needs to change and at least get another snack in before he goes. Okay. Alright. I was hoping to have a little bit more time so we could pack him his snacks and lunch and stuff. Okay. Hey, brat. 5 more minutes, Auntie. No. You gotta get to the academy. Why did you tell me you had to be there by 7? I was too tired to think. I was so focused on anything else, but I understand. Go get showered, get cleaned up. I will write a note. I gotta write a note to the your instructor anyway. So let's go. And you gotta pick up 2 more kids. Not a big 3 more kids. Come on. Oh, okay. He moves tiredly. She hands him one of the little fruity, chewy cubes that he's been liking. Not too sweet, but it's not bitter. It tastes like actual fruit. And when he tiredly goes into the house to shower, her and Yoshi go inside and quickly make up a basically high level energy lunch, and a couple of them sandwiches, the fruit bars, the granola bars, all sorts of little snacks to get him going, keep him going throughout the day. And she also packed high energy juice, different things, and just put them in the scrolls, set them up, and then was sitting there at the table. Yes, Yoshi finished it up, knowing that he's basically eating 6 meals a day with between 3 or 4 times snacks, and listening to her, Yoshi listened to her sister-in-law saying that might actually start going up as time goes. And it will start leveling out once he won't plateau. They never truly plateau. They just start to slow down the growth. But right now, it's really good because he's still growing. And chakras reserve in his body and yada 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 blah blah blah, all that lovely good stuff. So, and she sat there and was making this up. She quickly did it. He had a satchel, not just with some of his books and papers that he needed for the day. It's basically a big satchel full of snacks. He comes down. He's in his ninja gear. He just put everything on. You can tell that he starts moving around because of the chakra cuffs and some of the resistance seals. They're already showing signs that they're building up stuff. He's starting to show signs that he might need to go shopping for clothes again. He's starting to show signs that things are starting to buckle up because now the chakra is forcing the muscles to build. That's what it's starting to do. It's a whole lovely change in reaction. It's not just making him faster, it's also making him stronger. Not just with the chakra that he got last, but physically stronger. So it's one of those things that you can almost see if they're doing the exercises right, that you can see the results almost immediately. And Yoshi goes, honey, what's the matter? My gear doesn't fit right. For some reason, it's starting to feel a little tight. Oh. And she goes and feels some of his mesh armor. She goes, yeah, this is a little tight on you. Getting there. You fit. And she goes, kinda goes, don't worry, you're gonna be you're still a growing boy, and because of that, she goes, that's a good sign. She goes, and Yoshi goes, what do you mean? Oh, because of the resistance seals and stuff, and him constantly using chakra control to move around, and to the point it's becoming refined as second nature, I go, he's building up his muscles too. And a beautiful rate too. So it's almost like right now it's almost like a month's worth of work within a few days, just bodybuilding. And she's like, wow, yeah. So it's like chakra. Oh my god! If you can work chakra, you can get the chakra and the weights moving. You just. And she goes, wow, yeah. So you probably want to go think about going shopping here soon, and start getting bigger clothes. She goes, you see what the boys wear, right? The Senju boys. He goes, yeah. They wear it so they can easily hide their size, and they have a few grow. It's loose enough and stuff. They have a few styles. Don't worry. We'll take you to go take care of it. They actually have a body armor that they have designed. I can see if we can get you into that. Really? Yeah, it's a lot better. You don't even realize they had it. The mesh armor that they also designed is just another precaution. It's a beautiful thing. We'll have him go and get him fitted and stuff. Okay. Well, come on, let's get you and then go get the brats. I'll drop this off. Not even thinking twice, as he's walking past the bowl of fruit, he's grabbing a banana. He Yoshi's kind of looking shocked that he normally doesn't grab food right like that. It's usually something that the Choji might do. But here, he's grabbing food, and so she realizes she's going to have to make sure there's plenty of stuff. So she's going grocery shopping almost every day now, because it's just that. Shikaku, she heard, was talking to her, saying about getting those resistance seals built up on him. Just because he's a commander, he's in Jonin, does not mean he doesn't keep up with his training. If he can make it, doing something like his training, physical training and stuff like that, and put what would have taken years of work into a matter of days or something, just by with extra little seals or something, then he's going to do it. She agreed. And they kind of looked at it. Their food bill's going to go up. Already went up a little bit since Kana came back. But they're looking at it, okay, this is all good. This is good. He's talking about saying getting the seals on a lot of the young men, slowly but surely, in the young shinobi in their clan, just to build them up. So he's glad that his sister and son are setting the firing example of the clan. So with that, as she watches him go, he's eating it, and then as they walk down the street, they're eating it. He's tossing this banana down. It's the peel into the trash can as he grabs another one. He goes, as he's like, Auntie, I can't believe I'm always eating. I don't understand this. I've never always ate. Oh. Oh, you little fawn. Yeah, that's the side effect. Really? Mm-hmm. But you'll plateau. You won't plateau. You'll slow down. It'll be worse even more after you come back from a heavy mission. But yeah. Mm. Right now, your body's getting used to everything, so it might, and also with heavy training, yeah. Okay. They get to the Senju compound. She's used to seeing the guards, so she waves them at, walks, sees the whole group is there. Ibiki is there, talking to the young Senju. She goes, Serenity, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. I was just waiting for Shikamaru to escort us to the academy because I don't know where it's at, and we've been so busy here. Yeah, that's my fault. You were supposed to go earlier. I kept on thinking the academy started later because when me and his days we were in the middle of war, and academy classes didn't start until about at least earliest is 9, if not 10. So I thought I'd kick his butt a little bit before classes. Don't worry. It was good. I caught her. Oh, so everything's good. Her whole group got vetted. They all good. They're all safe. Lady Tsunade was right. I did like them. So, I'll leave you guys to it. I'll talk to you later, my lady. Please call me Serenity. You don't have to be so formal. Of course. Becky walks away, and she goes, kind of, what do you smile? She goes, what do you seem more happy about? I'm just happy to be home a little bit. Oh, you think you can measure Shikamaru, have somebody get Shikamaru's measurements for the armor? Yeah, I suppose that he's going to at least get checked out every couple of weeks just to make sure the fitting's right. Of course. Should we think about the side clothing and stuff too? We have seals put into the clothing. Oh yes, we probably should think about that. Those are amazing. You do realize you could open a shop just like on those things alone, a high class shop, and Shinobi will flock to it. They will love it, especially with those seals that help regulate the body temperature in extreme heat and cold. Ooh, we'll be happy. We'll see. Hey sis, hey, Shikamaru buddy, what's up? Hey Naruto, how's those seals working out? I don't want to think about it because I'm constantly thinking about it, constantly moving. I have to constantly focus not to grab things so hard. At least it's funny stories with Gotti and Saratobi. Those were funny. She goes, I know what story you're talking about. That's hilarious. We'll tell him later. I'll tell my brother that. Alright, brats, time to go. So they grab their lunch. He goes, wait, this is... Seem like you carry less. Oh, we have seals in here, so it looks like we carry less, but it's actually we carry a lot. Do you want something like that set up? Please. Seems like you guys use seals. Oh, seals are amazing. Yeah. We're all decked out in gear. And he goes, really? She goes, oh yeah. We got storage shields to put onto our arms. I go, as you see my little belt here, my obi and stuff. Yeah. She goes, I have a storage shield on that, so I can actually put all my kunai and shuriken and actually have a much worse in this, in each belt, if I wanted to. Really? He goes, yeah. And so and he's just looking at her. He goes, it's the first time he's really truly seen her in ninja gear. And by the looks of her, she just looks like a dancer. One of those nice little street performer dancers. He would have never taken her as a koimichi, or serious as a koimichi. But with having all these resistance seals on him and the chakra cuffs and stuff, he's gonna take each and every one of them seriously, even though they don't look like it. They're not dressed like it. They're not holding their. He's like, well, don't you need to have a host? He's looking at the boys and he goes, well, at least have a holster. She goes, we do. He goes, it's etched into our He goes, it's etched into our pants. Really? I need that. That makes things a whole lot easier. So, they get to class, they're talking, and kinda is just basically letting the group talk, get to know each other, let the kids get to know. That was the whole point of them coming in early as they did, so they get to know each other. As they're walking down the hallways to a classroom, Shikamaru knocks on the door. He hears Ruka Sensei giving the class a lecture. He opens up. Shikamaru, you're late. Yeah, I'm sorry, Sensei. I actually have a good excuse this time. My aunt was kicking my ass. She's been home for a month. She hasn't made you late yet. Don't give me lines like this. And he goes, he's just late into poor Shikamaru. Just being one of those mean teachers that you know how some students he just lays right into for whatever reason, and he's just laying into him. He goes, no, I actually have a note. And he goes, I don't care what that note says. By this point, Shikamaru's grabbed his little chewy granola bar and is just opening up and eating it. And what did I tell you about food? If you read the note, it's kind of is having a hard, getting to the point that she's getting sick and tired of how Ruka is talking to her nephew. And second of all, he didn't read the note. He just automatically starts yelling. She goes, Shikamaru, go and sit down. He goes, Kanda, do you speak to your students like this on a regular basis? Or is it just your favorite ones? You don't tell me how it goes in my classroom. I will tell you how it goes in my classroom, and I will tell my brother how you treat his son. And I will also be talking to the other clan heads. And seeing if their children are being treated this way. He goes, no, I understand you have to be a tough teacher, which is fine. You can be tough, but you don't need to be a fucking asshole. There's a fine line being tough and being an asshole. And right now, you're flirting with being an asshole. If you're gonna be an asshole, trust me, I'll introduce you to my bitch side. Really damn fast. Now, as Shikamaru was telling you, I made him late. I wasn't paying attention to when he goes to school because I was always working at the hospital. Now I have had more free time and I have agreed to start helping my brother with his training a little bit more. So he could with clan techniques. And I, over the weekend, started doing that. So I am sorry that I made him late. I wasn't paying attention to class. When he starts classes, I am sorry. That is my fault. And as him eating in class, if you actually read the note, he has to eat. Oh. Oh. He has a legitimate medical excuse. If you want to sit there and argue with me, we can take this up with the Hokage. But I will not have you put my nephew's health in danger. I will pull him out of this class, and considering I think the Senjus will go with him, I will pull out anybody else from the class if I think you're violating their health. As a medic, I also can teach the same shit that you're teaching them. Considering I've been teaching the same shit even more to the advanced classes to the Senju children for the past 13 years. Trust me, I can probably do it a little bit better considering how good they are. Kana, I know you've been gone for a while, and I know you don't know that a lot of times they pay attention to inner workings of the villages and the other clans. But I would have thought with your sensei being a Senju, the last Senju, you know there's only one. Wherever these kids are telling you their lies, you know this. I would have thought you had been bright. Obviously, you're not as bright as you... What, excuse me? Oh, you just did not insinuate my intelligence. Well, you know what? I'm going to stay here in class today. I don't have nothing better to do. I will stay right here. And for your information, there are 3 more Senjus in this world. And they're standing out there, and one of them is the acting head. And she just witnessed your shit. So, I'd be more worried about if you're going to have a job after this. Well said, Kana. Well said. Oh, Lord Hokage. I witnessed this whole incident. I had my shinobi pay attention to see if the children got here. The Senju children got here on time. They were a little late. I'm sorry, my lord. Shikamaru was supposed to escort them here. I understand. I understand. I heard what you happened. I'll be more happy to introduce them. And then me or Ruka later will be having a nice little chat. But you are more welcome to play assistant today. Oh, well, these kids are going to be thrilled with that one. I just become their worst nightmare. And considering I'm not in a good mood because of Ruka, I am really going to become your worst nightmare. So, let's get to it. Nodding his head. Of course. Aruka, may I present to you Prince Naruto Senju, Prince Damian Senju, and Princess Serenity Senju. And as of a few years ago, our Fire Domo has crowned Naruto as the crown prince of the Wheel of Fire, and his sister the crown princess of the Wheel of Fire. Which, back in the political capital of Phoenix, and with the Domo, Fire Lord, we just have more political power with the country. Do you really want to piss off them? No. You don't have to worry about teaching them, because I'm sure, 100% sure, Kana, Suzune, and Tsunade made sure that they were properly caught up with everything, and then some. They're only here to start forming bonds with their future comrades. That's the reason why they came so early. They had to at least at least be technically enrolled in the academy before they could take the graduation exam. And I was able to convince Tsunade to do it 2.5 months early. Technically, all they needed to do was show up a week prior. But don't make Tsunade regret letting her grandchildren come back. Yes, grandchildren. The Lord Fourth Hokage was Minato Namikaze Senju. Oh! Oh, I see. So, at the time, if he would have lived, there would have been 5 Senjus in the world. Okay, understood. So, without thinking much about it, he goes, class, this is as what's left the currently active Senju clan. As I just mentioned, the blonde here, and the black, and the orange. Really nice orange. Is Naruto Senju. The long-haired blonde male here is Damian, and the little one down there with is Serenity Senju. He goes, I'll leave it to you guys, and I'll see you after school, Aruka. Not a minute later. Yes, sir. Oh. And the, as Aruka stood in shock, he just got told off by what he could feel the cold chill of Kananara. There's a saying in the village, you don't piss off a Nara. So, he believes he just pissed one off. And he's not 100% sure what's going to happen. He's still shocked in the class. And the children kind of stood, the Naruto, Damian, and Serenity stood in front of the class, waiting for Haruka to give instruction. Do they want them to stand there? Because they can stand there all day, they don't care. Or do they want them to go sit? And after a few minutes after the door shut, he snapped out. He goes, right, okay. He goes, Naruto, can you give a little bit about yourself? Your likes, your dislikes, any hobbies? Oh, yes, as the Lord Third was so kindly to point out, I am Naruto Senju. I like ramen. At this point, he doesn't like ramen because he doesn't know ramen. He goes, I like training with my brother and sister, and my older adopted sisters, and my grandma. I like gardening and coming up with new seals, and working on my taijutsu and stuff. And my goal is really to be the best I can be, to uphold my family's great name. I dislike traitors or anybody that looks down on people for no apparent reason. Without any reason. So, that's it. So, okay, thank you, Lord Senju. Lord Damian Senju, can you please? I like gardening. I'm more of a gardener than my brother. I like spending time growing herbs or cross genetically modifying different plants just to see what I can come up with new. I like reading, and I like hanging out with my brothers and sisters. You only have one sister. Adopted sisters, if you want to look at it. But we'll get into that later. I'm like with my brother. We hate traitors, and we hate people that look down at other people for one various reason or another. And I don't care for politics. That's a good one. I don't think anybody has the right mind that likes politics. Okay, Lady Senju. I like stargazing. I like being out in the forest and just taking in the sounds and everything of all the little critters, down to the little insects making their little noises. I like hanging out with my brothers and training. I aspire to be an even greater medic than my grandfather and grandmother. So, yeah, I just like the same things as my brothers. I really don't care for politics, but yet they decide to elect me to be the politician in the family. You're so good at it, sister. You have the mental patience than we do. We prefer just to point us in the direction who we need to beat up. Some things require a little finesse than just brute force. See? You're a lot better at it. So they walk away and they sit there and go, okay, thank you. Go sit in the empty seats. Shikamaru, by sitting up there on his seat, his normal seat, he's already snacking on the granola bar. And he's drinking some of his juice. And he kind of waves at them. And Naruto goes, go sit by your boyfriend. He's not my boyfriend. Yeah, I don't care. Go sit by him. And considering Ino and Sakura, in this case, are extremely late, they get into this habit every now and then, into kind of ditching. They get to class, they get to the academy, but instead of going to class, they go hang out in the bathroom. You know, anybody that's been in high school, some of the girls will hang out in the bathroom for hours and in. For whatever reason, well, this is one of their habits. And so what would have been Sakura's seat, Damian has taken, Naruto has taken his seat, what would have been in canon. And Ino would have been what Ino sat in canon between Shikamaru and Choji. Serenity sat there. So Aruka goes, well, that's exciting. Now we go back to our class, and he's going back to his he's starting to go back to his lecture, and then he hears a knock again at the door. Yes, another teacher pulls Sakura and Ino in. I believe these two are yours. Unfortunately. Alright, thank you. Ino, Sakura, go find a seat. Sakura goes and looks, and she sees Damian and Naruto in her spot right by Sasuke, and she goes, "You're in my seat." Excuse me? You're in my seat. I didn't realize there was a sign scene. I'm sorry. There is an assigned scene, Sakura. You know that. And Shikamaru then says something. She goes, and Ino looks at her. She goes, "But I was just, Sakura, take the empty seats. We'll deal with this later. Class has been disrupted enough today." Fine. And they're going about their normal deal. Ruka calls out for go out running laps to help condition a little bit more of the class. And they're running around, and Kanda is kind of laughing because she's noticing Naruto, Damian, and Serenity are basically staying in the middle of the pack. Why, Akiba and Sasuke are racing ahead. Shikamaru is too focused on with this ready to maintain the right amount of chakra control that he's not trying to beat anybody. He's basically staying in his normal spot. Choji looks like he's having a hard time. So, Naruto and Damian are basically get side by side Choji, and they're basically doing gentle encouragement. And he's having a hard time. They're like, well, don't push yourself. Just do what you can. It's better to end at the finish line than to be exhausted at the finish line. And Choji's kind of smiling because this is the first time that anybody has ever told him never to just pick you up and move faster. One of the civilian kids commented on Choji's weight as they're running. He goes, "Oh, don't worry about him, Senju. Fatso just is gonna be slow. It's an Archimedes, And Damian looks at him. He goes, "Well, Archimedes have a lot of chakra and a lot of potential to move to stretch their body and move it in different places that technically we shouldn't be able to do." So, with that brilliant bloodline limit, he goes, their sizes are due because they have to have a lot of chakra to maintain a lot of the chakra for their jutsus. It makes sense that it's more muscle than what you think it is. Oh, he goes, well, considering both my grandmother and her students, which basically became our older sisters, are medics, and my sister's a medic, and we've been trained in medical ninjutsu. Unless I can read otherwise and understand, there's no reason why he should be forcing himself. Yes, there's different methods, and I think different methods in this case would be better than the same old thing that works for everyone. Not everything's gonna work for everyone, that's fine. What will work for you probably won't work for me or the idiots over there. Instead of grouping everyone into one, maybe what it needs to be is by this point start realizing all the kids are different, so that means you must be start helping them finding what works for them. Yes, showing them the basics the first few years that everyone starts off with, and then moving on to what's individually. Considering there's different clans in here, in this class, I'm assuming, by just the looks of it, which means the different clans have individual techniques that works best for them. Even with them, they have individuals in the clan that the technique is to base off of. They just need to tune it up to make it work better for them. And the civilian kid kind of gets red with anger and moves on, calling him an idiot. Doesn't know the workings of everything. And Damian goes, I believe that would be Kenny follower that we're having. And by this point, they're also watching, they've gotten to the point that they watch Sakura and Ino and a few of the fangirls interact, so they basically point out, yeah, as they're gooey and guying at Sasuke and stuff, Kana has shown that she doesn't care for fangirls. She marches over to the, so you have the energy to goo and guy at a boy. Well, whatever. She goes, if you have that energy, then you can have your energy to run some more. And you're so focused on a boy that you can't figure out your looks. You're so confused about your looks. I will make it so you don't have to worry about your looks. And he was the girls were shocked. She literally grabbed a few of the other civilian girls outside of Sakura. They had their hair and they're having their makeup and stuff on. They're just loaded up with perfume. She goes over and grabs their hair and pulls out a kunai and she just chops it off in a horrendous thing and throws it and starts going, if you don't start moving by the time I get to you, your hair's going bye-bye. And Ino's looking at shock because by the second fangirl who's just basically losing their hair, and it's getting to the point it's like a really short haircut. It's almost kind of almost scalped a few of these girls. And realizing what is happening, the girls take off running faster and moving. Aruka has never seen the fangirls do anything else besides quickly doing the bare minimum in their laps and to satisfy him and just sit there and coo and caw at Sasuke. So, the few fangirls that sat there and was just gonna argue with Kana basically just got their almost scalped. And if they want to sit there and whine some more, as the girls realize something, Kana comes out and walks away with something, comes back and basically starts shoving some type of foul-smelling shit on them. And which means that the fangirls that have witnessed this, that were not moving fast, they weren't doing much. Besides maybe a brisk fasting pace, it was almost not quite a jog, but it wasn't quite a walk either. And yeah, the girl and they started moving a little fast and realizing stuff. The boys by this point have all done and not the fangirls, which is Hinata, the only one in Serenity, have all done their work. Maximum. All their runs. Not the bare minimum, their maximum. They're all sitting there, relaxing. And Kana decides she's going to be sadistic, like she always is. Pulls out her kunai and starts throwing it randomly at the girls. To the point they shriek on the top of their lungs like the girly girls that they are. She goes, if you're going to continue to shriek over a kunai, I'm attaching a paper bomb next time to it. Move faster. And Ino says she wants to argue. Next thing you know, she sees a kunai comes flying, whizzing past her, cuts her cheek like a Anko did with Naruto and Canon in the tuning exams. Cuts her cheek really close. It cuts her ear because that's how close it went. It takes off some of her precious hair, and it lands probably about 3 feet away from her. And the paper bomb. It's a low level paper bomb. It's more designed for distracting or anything. Goes off. Next one will be stronger. You want to test me, little girl? I will. Your father will have to start making a new heir. If I had my way about it. Move. Seeing that she feels the blood coming down her cheek, sees some of her hair going down her blouse, and feels that her ear got sliced, and is just in complete shock that she just had a kunai with a paper ball tossed at her, and realizing this one is not playing around, so she picks up the pace to the point she is surpassing this little group. She's not wasting time. She's pushing herself to the fastest. And you can see every now and then kunai and shuriken and going flying by. Every now and then a few of them will be attached to flash bombs, forcing the girls to move faster. To the point by the time their run was done, you could see that they had cuts all over them. Various cuts, and they're bleeding. And the girls that got basically almost scalped are just in tears. They're in shock. They've never been treated by this way by Ian and the other Koichi instructors. And they're just basically they've never had been so worked out in their lives. Even the clan girls, to the point they had on the verge of throwing up. And Ruka has never seen the girls move so good. He's tried everything in this years to coax these girls to work, but he couldn't. Who would have thought physical violence, the looming threat of physical violence, that I will take your life, with the promise of that, was in the air. So she turns to Aruka and goes, "What's next?" And he goes, "Taijutsu. Can I work with these girls?" "Oh, yeah." So the girls, she gets in front of them and she goes, "Time to move." No, you don't deserve a break. You work hard, you deserve a break. They did their job. They worked the maximum they could. They pushed themselves. They did it. You could have easily had a nice little break while they were waiting, but you said you want to argue and be little bitches. Well, guess what? I'll show you I'm a bigger one. Now, let's see your taijutsu. And a lot of them were piss poor at that. So she's going around showing them literally quite painfully their openings in their taijutsu, having them literally fight against a stump on certain moves over and over again. And Onko finally gets upset and she goes, "I am sick of this. You just because you're not have a boyfriend does not mean you have to just stand up here in the ring. Class, I'm gonna show you a demonstration of how actual Koichi works against Cannon Fowler." She hands on Ino a few kunai. "If you don't come at me with the intent to kill, you won't be able to come at me. You won't be able to win." That come at me with the intent to kill. And Uncle, no, not Uncle, but wanting to save her pride, decides to come at her and basically lays her ass flat down numerous times, quite painfully, more so than most. Actually, kind of breaks her arm a little bit, dislocates the shoulder, so she actually does make a physical, violent point to Unko. Not Unko, but Kind of goes, I'm not even using above low-level tuning against you. You should have technically had a chance. Uncle Ino's literally worse for wear by this point. Literally looked like she just went through a war and through a couple of battles. Her hair's messed up. It's falling out of her ponytail. Her clothes are basically torn, cut, and just... Yeah, she's bleeding in various places. You can tell that her arm is hanging out. She's in a lot of pain. She's breathing a little heavily, which means she either has a couple of cracked ribs or she's bruised. Kinda did not held back quite a bit, but she held back enough to do a painful lesson. And so Ino has her lip busted, eyes, a couple of her cheeks, skin busted. That to the point she did learn this. She's learning this lesson quite painfully, but she's getting the hint. And she's looking at the girl. She goes, "If I was an enemy Kunoichi, you have been dead 3 times over by now. I am not hard on you because I take sick joy out of it. I'm hard on you so you can get your ass up and come back home alive. So parents would not have to bury their children so soon. Or their children none at all. You mean you can look at your father in the face and act like a civilian girl like that and tell me you have the confidence you gotta come back alive? Honey, it's time to stop playing ninja and actually take the actual thing seriously. Our world is dangerous. It's deadly. There's a reason why we learn how to fight with shiny, pointy, sharp sticks of death. There's a reason why not many there's a risk every time you go out the village. You might not come back. But we train hard and we work hard to focus on coming back alive. So we can reach our goals. You might not always reach your goals at the same pace as others. Or a different pace as this. But you're going to do it. As long as you work hard. But this gooey guy and acting like a little freaking soft fangirl, even worse than a civilian, is going to get people killed. Your comrades are gonna watch you die, or you gotta watch them die because they're too busy covering your ass. Now, we're gonna take you to the hospital and get you checked out. Now I'm coming back and kicking every one of your asses. I'm gonna start whipping all you guys' asses to shape. If I hear so much a coo or a caw coming out of any of you for the next few months, your ass is gonna be worse than hers. And I will give you a personal demonstration on taijutsu every single frickin' time. And trust me, if you guys wear makeup to try to impress a guy, I'll bring makeup and make you look like a clown. and make you wear a sign. I am a clown. Please laugh at me. Now, let's get you to the hospital. So she gets her. Kannan takes Ino to the hospital because she has pretty much beaten her up pretty damn good. Ruka's looking shocked for Wares because now, for the first time in 6 years, 5 to 6 years, give or take, how long the academy classes are, he's seeing that some of the Konoichis are actually starting to take things seriously. They're realizing now things are being taken seriously. To see a stronger Konoichi that basically didn't teach them about flower pressing or flower arrangements or how to infiltrate a group, actually literally just was literally being quite brutal, and Ruka knew that was actually going pretty soft. If she wanted to be brutal, the whole group of them would have been injured pretty damn bad, and they'll be in the hospital for a few days. Ino is only going to be in the hospital for a few hours, come back, and she won't be able to do a lot of the stuff like she did before. But hopefully she had learned her lesson. So, we're doing a little time skip. Inoichi's got information his daughter went into the hospital from the academy. He's quite worried, so he goes, and he sees Kanda working on Ino. Ino doesn't see him. He had barely just walked into the room, and he kind of shut the door. Because Ino wasn't paying attention, he saw Kanda see him, and he kind of waves. He doesn't do anything. Ino's been used to the nurses coming in and out, giving Kanda wherever she needed. And Kanda is basically laying into Ino, giving her the speech of her life. So tell me, Ino, what do you plan on being when you grow up? I want to be a great Konoichi and impress Sasuke to the point he marries me. The last Uchiha? Yes. You're an heiress. You're not going to be with him. That's not how it's going to happen. If you do that, you're basically saying you're turning your back against your father and mother and your clan. And two other clans at the exact same time. Because of your position in the clan. What? She goes, this whole fangirl phase, this little girly tushu, you're laying your clan down. You're making the clan look like a laughingstock. Not just among your father's friends. And your mother's friends, because she was a quite adept Konoichi when she was in active duty. But you are making a mockery of the Yukimura clan with the other clans in the main political stage. No one's going to take your father seriously because of what his daughter is. Ino goes, which means no one's taking you seriously with any form of political power. And she goes, but that's not true. And she goes, I don't take you seriously. You do realize Serenity is not taking you seriously right now, right? Which means she's not going to take your father seriously on any moment. Why would she care? She's acting head of the Senju, Namikaze, and Uzumaki clans until her grandmother comes back, which means she has a lot of political power. On top of that, she's a crown princess of Leaf and one of the representatives of Leaf. If she goes to the Fire Lord and says that the Yukimura clan is nothing more than a joke, they're gonna take her seriously. You don't understand the lot of political power that little girl has. and all the strength she has. She didn't need to prove. She's not going out to prove anything. She's just going through the classes. Just their job right now for the next 2 months is not to prove how great of a ninja they are. You know, it's to form bonds and get incest to understand their part in the village. That is their part for the next 2 months and a half. Instead of making friends with a powerful ally for your clan, you're turning around and going to make a laughing stock. Believe it or not, you are involved not just in the dangerous world of shinobis, but you are involved in the political arena in this village, and parts of the Fire Nation as well. If you don't start taking your role seriously, step down and let somebody else do. I don't want to disappoint Papa. You know, you're going to disappoint him if you come back dead. You think he's going to feel good about that? You don't know him. I know your father. What? I know who your father is. He's my older brother's teammate. Shikaku Nara is my older brother. One of them. I'm handing Shikamaru's ass to him just as much as I'm willing to hand your ass. And yesterday, when Choji came in and he was talking to Shikamaru, I made him train too. If you want to talk, fine, you can talk, but you're going to be working your ass. Because I want to see this generation Ina Shikacho, or my generation, my friends' children survive. We could go war, and the chances of war is not likely right now, but the climate change can change in a split second. And we could easily go to war. And she goes, it's not unheard to put Genin on the front lines in some villages. If you're not on a team, you're in the Genin Corps, you are going to be placed on the front lines and suspected to survive on your own without any more instruction. If you get an apprenticeship, that's rare and you're incredibly lucky. But usually the apprenticeships go to the people that are already formed in Genin squads. Because no Jonin wants to play one-on-one time on somebody who doesn't want to take their job seriously. We're too busy to do that, just to do this. I'm taking time off of this for the next few months to kick your guys' asses. If I'm going to have to do it, I will do it. If I have to drag you by your pretty blonde hair through the mud and wherever else I can think of, it's going to happen. And I don't care if your father gets upset. Your mother probably high-fived me. Your father's probably gonna cry. I think he went too soft on you. She goes, if you don't become stronger, you could easily be raped. What? That doesn't happen. It's not talked about in the academy because we don't want. It's supposed to be all glory and stuff. Give you hope that you're always gonna come back from every mission, but that's not the case. You could easily be captured by enemy. You should ask your father how many IT people he had. Mental evaluation he had to do on Konoichi's that been captured, and ask them what happens. I can direct you to a few Konoichis that work in IT that will not hide the fact of such deals. She goes, we gotta become strong because we're usually the first ones that are targeted out of a squad. Males been known to get raped too, but it's females that get tortured. If the males are around on the squad and the females there, she's most likely going to get tortured right in front of her male teammates. While they're helpless to do nothing. Ask your father on the Yukamura Ridge what happened to what it's known as Heartbreak Ridge, as we call it. Ask him to what happened to his female teammate. Look him in the eye. This was a cousin who looks a lot like you. You know, ask her if she came back alive. Did she? No, she took her own life because she couldn't handle it. But, you know, your father and another teammate with her were pinned down on this ridge. They were captured by the enemy and during the Third Great War. They tried to get information because they're thinking that they had the intelligence. She was tortured, more so than your father and the teammate ever were. So much so, she could not walk out of there. Every bone in her body was broken. She lost fingernails and toes because they were slowly cut off or pulled off. I go, a lot of her body was unrecognizable. The only thing she had left to do was pull up. And she was gang raped multiple times right in front of your father. And tormented. Because they were trying to get information out of them. Any form of information, they didn't. To stop. To stop your father's and the other teammates' mental anguish, she killed herself. The only way she could. She bit her tongue so much that she choked on her own blood. Ino's face was just in horror. All color left her face. The reason why we call it Heartbreak Ridge. You know, if she just held out for a little longer. If he just held out a little longer, my brother and another squad had broke through enemy lines and was coming to get them. But it was too late. If she just this is how close it was. If she just held on 30 more minutes after going through 72 hours of torture non-stop, than any form of torture that they thought of. If she just held on just 30 more minutes, or even an hour longer, or a day, my brother and his squad would have broke through. Her ninja career would have been over in that moment. But she would have been alive. You know, I know for a fact your father doesn't want that fate for you. So I know he doesn't want that fate for you. Any fate for the Konomichis. And that's just one of the harder stories. And that's not even the worst one. There are worse ones, I could tell you. Look, she was going to be sick. Hana gets her at the trash can. As starts try heaving in it. I'm not telling you this to freak you out. I'm telling you this to start getting your head in the game. It's time for you to start putting childish things like girly things like that aside. It's good to be a girl. It's good to be soft. But being a Koichi means also being strong. And also being strong for the shinobi our male counterparts. Being strong for them when they need us. She just looked up as she handed looked up from the trash can. As Kana handed her a tissue. Your father's here. I'll let you two talk. And Inuichi comes over and gives Ino a hug and gives her a kiss. I'm just gonna step outside and talk to her and find out what happened, okay? He steps out and Ino kind of opens up the door so Ino can hear a little bit of the conversation. What happened at school? She got her ass handed to her by me. What? I was starting to beat the fangirl out of her. Kinda, that's... Don't tell me it's going too far. You know it's not going far enough. Do you really want her to end up like her namesake? No, of course not. You know I don't want that fate. You know I don't want that fate for her. And so, going soft on her is helping who, by chance? She's my princess. I don't want her hurt. And she goes, I understand that, Inoichi. I really do. I understand your fear. Not necessarily as a parent, but as watching somebody you care about grow and start becoming into their own. And knowing that they're about to enter a dangerous world. And there's not going to be much we can do to protect them. As much as we want to shield them from it. But hiding these facts, cruel facts about our way of life, is not going to do anyone any favors. Certainly not going to do her any favors. Going soft on her is definitely not going to do her any favors. It'll put her in positions where she might not come back from. You know this. You work in intelligence at Inoichi. You know how cruel the other villages are against torture. How we can be. We don't know the results of some of the barbaric shit that they do. But we have in the past. Doesn't mean we won't do it again. We don't know how many have done without us knowing. It is time to start thinking of these it's time for her to start thinking of the dangerous life that she's walking into. In a few short months. I watched Serenity grow up from a few days old. She fought for her life from day one. Yes, she lived a good life up at the capital. See what you looked at. I know if Sensei and Suzune and I could figure out a way to even without smoking shield all three of them, we would. But they know a little bit of Taste of War. They've seen some of it firsthand. I can't not hide those facts. I cannot hide the fact they are from a clan that is expected of them to be shinobi. I cannot hide the fact that the world is dangerous and cruel. But what I can do, and what I will do, is prepare him for it. In the best damn way I know how. If I have to, I would do that with any other children in this village. Given the chance. If that means I have to drag your daughter, kicking and screaming through the shadows and death and mud and everything just so she can come out alive on the other side, I will do it. I will do whatever I can to make sure she starts getting her head in the game, because if she doesn't, people are going to die. If not her, other people. And we both know that's not going to be pretty. Now go spend time with your daughter and tell her as soon as she's healed, which she should be good in a few days, she's getting her ass kicked again. And again. And again. I'm going to hand it her ass so much. It's not because she's going to be just one of the Korimijis in this village. She's also my friend's daughter. And he needs to realize it's time to start kicking ass and taking names. Because our world is not going to do her any favors. They prey on the weak. You know this. If they can't go after you, they go after somebody close to you. You know this. This is why we build up our people around us so strong. So, I'll see you later. I'll see you guys later. I'll see you later. We'll talk more tomorrow. In a few days, you can go resume your physical training. But in the next few days, while everyone's doing physical training, you're doing meditation. And trust me, I will also be hard on you. Alright, we're going to leave that with that. Leave a like and a follow. And leave any comments down how you like it, if you need to explain. Alright, let's go. Bye-bye.